the boot.
Let's give cancer 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 the boot.
Hello and welcome to MD Anderson's Boot Walk to End Cancer virtual kickoff today. I'm George Lindsay, and along with my wife Deanna, we are the chairs for this year's event, and I can't tell you how happy we are that you're joining us here today for this virtual kickoff. And although we can't be together physically today, I just want you to know that we feel your energy. We know that you're out there walking, and we want to give you a little of our energy and some of the information that I think you're going to find helpful as you get ready for the boot walk today. I'd like to start out by telling everybody that we are celebrating raising nearly $1 million in the fight against cancer. All right, it's technically like 900,000 plus and counting, but I like to round up. I like to be positive about it. And what makes that so wonderful is the fact that LyondellBasell has come on for the 5th straight year as our sponsor. And that means that they are able to take that on, and it allows every dollar that we raise to go directly to that fight of making cancer history. So thank you so much to LyondellBasell for being part of it. Before we kick things off too, I know that a lot of you are going to be out walking in your neighborhoods. You're going to be walking in a park. You're going to be walking with your kids. You're going to be walking with your dog. Whatever, we want to see the pictures, all right? This is all about sharing that feeling together. And even though we're not together, we can be together separately, all right? So as you're out walking, take those pictures of the kids, the dog, your boots, whatever, and make sure you use the hashtag EndCancer. That's hashtag EndCancer. Hashtag EndCancer. And that means that we're able to see your photos and follow your adventure as you go about your neighborhood. And as of today, I think we have to stop and acknowledge the fact that we have walkers from nearly every state and over 20 countries. I mean, how amazing is that, right? The worldwide reach of MD Anderson's Boot Walk to End Cancer, I mean, honestly, sometimes it just amazes me, and I think we have to acknowledge that. Also, for the last 2 years, I know it's been a challenge. We want to be together walking, right? But that's made it difficult, and that's why we do the virtual walks. But also, we want to make sure that we're taking the right precautions. MD Anderson has the largest immunocompromised population in the entire nation. So we want to live up to their standards. We want to protect those patients that are still in that fight and all of the workers and all of the volunteers. So thank you guys for being with us. We know it's been tough, but you know what? Despite the obstacles of COVID-19, all the variants and everything else, you all have renewed your commitment to making this so good this year. You know, since the Boot Walk started in 2016, we've been able to raise $7.5 million and counting as we engage this fight against cancer, our mission to make cancer history, right? So here today, we want to take a minute to talk about our wonderful committee. And for me, it starts with my wife, who I roped into being my co-chair this year. Deanna is with me, and Deanna, tell me a little bit about why you decided to become a full participant and walk in the Boot Walk.
Right. Last year was my first year. My first year, I was a newbie. It was the first year as a real full participant. I lost my mother last year to cancer, and it really hit home with me how important the work at MD Anderson is and how important it is for us to support the work that's being done there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a great committee. We have an awesome committee this year. And I would just like to say thanks to them.
We are just two of the many, many wonderful volunteers on the committee putting this event together for you to do your part and to help support the work being done to end cancer.
All right, we're going to get our boots on. We're going to go for a walk in just a second. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Also, I just want to say thank you on behalf of our family. You know that I lost a sister to melanoma. I have a sister who is a 4-time cancer survivor. She is a warrior and my warrior. Sheila, thank you so much. I know she's watching today, but we just want to say thank you guys for helping us make cancer history.
I want to give a special thanks to the thousands of amazing walkers and supporters throughout the nation and around the world who are participating in this year's MD Anderson Boot Walk to End Cancer. It is remarkable proof of America and the world's commitment to MD Anderson's life-saving mission of making cancer history.
My name is Carlos. I'm a senior health fitness specialist here at MD Anderson. Exercise can definitely change your attitude. It gives you a lot of benefits as far as like reducing stress, reducing anxiety. It also helps build that endurance up. Sometimes 6 to 8 hours a day, we're just sitting at our desk. So it's getting up and moving, helps reduce that back pain, helps reduce that pain in your hips, your knees, wherever it may be. Some of the exercises you can do in comfort in your own chair are things like squats. You can do stretches in your chair. You can also do some dynamic movements. Yeah, you should definitely join the Boot Walk. If you join the Boot Walk, you're definitely going to get in a great workout, some great exercises. This could be the gateway to starting your fitness program just by starting with this 1.2 mile walk.
And to keep you in rhythm during your walk today, tune in 100.3 The Bull. We're playing all boot songs between 10 and 10:30 today. You can listen there at 100.3 The Bull. Or if you want, you can download the Odyssey app, find 100.3 The Bull, and you can listen there, all right?
I give Cancer the Boot for Team Stomp Out Stage 4 Breast Cancer. Together, we are a force.
I give Cancer the Boot for the love of my life.
We give Cancer the Boot for our mommy. The Frenzel family stomps out Stage 4 Breast Cancer.
All right, it's time on this virtual kickoff this morning to introduce you to the man, the guy who leads the #1 cancer care hospital in the United States. Please help me welcome Dr. Peter Pisters. Dr. Pisters, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, George. I'm doing great. It's fantastic to be with you this morning and great to be with our virtual community as we walk together.
Can you talk a little bit about what it's been like through the introduction of vaccines to dealing with all the variants and all those changes that you all have made at MD Anderson?
Well, George, you're right. This has been a challenge for all of us as we've navigated the past 18 months. Taking care of immunocompromised cancer patients has required us to work as a team, and we've come together to protect each other, to protect our vulnerable patients, and to participate in a process that protects our community. We've seen the organization mask up together. We've seen ourselves socially distancing. We've seen ourselves embracing a whole series of precautions designed to create a safer work environment for ourselves and for our patients. As vaccines rolled out, we opened up a process to vaccinate each other, vaccinate our patients, vaccinate loved ones of our employees, and vaccinate the community. As we do so, we recognize that vaccination is the pathway to herd immunity. And it's so important for us during this phase, particularly as we're navigating the Delta variant, to mask up, vaccinate, and we'll get through this. I'm confident that we can do this together.
These precautions are so important, and I guess the biggest thing out of this virtual boot walk, Dr. Pisters, is the fact that now we don't just have people in Houston walking. We have people from, I believe last count I had, 33 different states that are going to be walking today, places all around the world. So you can walk anywhere in the world and be part of the MD Anderson Boot Walk to End Cancer. Do you have a little message for those that are out there walking today?
Well, George, I think the point that you raise is an excellent one. The pandemic has some silver linings. And as we do so, just as we're using Zoom for so many things now and seeing increased participation rates, we see increased participation rates with our boot walk because you don't have to come to the Texas Medical Center. So I'm just so excited to have people in multiple states across multiple countries participating in this boot walk.
And Dr. Pisters, as we talk about that, if you have just a moment, let's take a look at the Fundraising Leaderboard.
It's just amazing what they've accomplished. And as we've been thinking about this, one of the biggest aspects of this is the impact it has. These funds go to help us to advance research breakthroughs for our patients. They go to help us educate and train students, and they help us to focus on our cancer prevention programs. We're here to put ourselves out of business in many ways, George. If we could just prevent cancer, we wouldn't ever have to treat it.
That is absolutely right. And I got to say, one of the companies that has made such a huge difference in this is LyondellBasell.
LyondellBasell has been a terrific partner for us. Not only are they supporting the boot walk, but they've hosted mobile mammography screenings and blood drives across their Houston area locations. This kind of partnership really exemplifies the support that we feel from amazing companies like LyondellBasell. And this boot walk is a terrific example of their commitment to our community.
All right, Dr. Pisters, it's about that time. We're getting ready to do some walking. Tell us about your walk today.
Well, George, I can't wait to get out today. I'm going to be walking with my wife, Catherine, and with our 2 dogs, TJ and Piper.
Don't forget, make sure you get a selfie, or better yet, maybe you get a picture of your dogs. That would be good too. Not that we don't want a picture of you and Catherine, but make sure you get lots of selfies, lots of pictures, and post them up, and have a great boot walk today.
We'll do it. Thanks so much, George.
And for those of you that are just joining us, don't forget to take pictures while you're out for your walk today, all right? Get in those 1.2 miles, but make sure you get in the pictures, all right? Post them on social, and make sure you use the hashtag #EndCancer, because we'd like to see all the different pictures, and those of us following that hashtag can see your pictures when you post them there, and see where you're walking, wherever in the United States, wherever in Texas, wherever in the world. You guys remember last year, we had a picture of a walker in front of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Remember that? It was so cool. And we got to thinking, what landmark can you include in your photos today? Just remember, hashtag #EndCancer. You know, LyondellBasell is the presenting sponsor for MD Anderson's Boot Walk to End Cancer, and they have been for 5 straight years now. And they last year engaged their global workforce to be part of this, and they're doing the same thing again. And we find that so exciting to see the reach of Boot Walk go worldwide that we decided to bring in Torkel Renmond, who is the Executive Vice President for Intermediates and Derivatives and Refining of LyondellBasell, about their global participation.
We have all know somebody in our circle of family or friends who's been impacted by cancer, and I think today is an opportunity to honor and walk with those who has been impacted. It's a short walk, it's only 1.2 miles, so we can all do this together. And it is this opportunity just to do it together, have fun, to do it as a family or together with friends, and to recognize all of those people that have been impacted by cancer. I'm a survivor from malignant melanoma, and I was actually diagnosed when I was in the early 30s. I was living in Japan. I was fortunate to get fantastic care at MD Anderson, so I came back here to Houston and was treated by Dr. Ross, who's still at the hospital. It's with doctors like Dr. Ross that has made MD Anderson as good as they are. I don't think I would be here if it wasn't because of the great care I got at MD Anderson. At LyondellBasell, we're committed to being a good neighbor in the communities where we operate, our employees work and live. It's through our global citizenship program, Advancing Good, that we have this partnership with MD Anderson. I plan on walking today to help honor and bring awareness to everyone that's been impacted by cancer. I hope everyone around the world will join me and Team LyondellBasell to give cancer the boot.
As we continue here on opening ceremonies for Boot Walk Day, I gotta say this next guest is absolutely one of my favorite people in the entire world. I met Christy at Rodeo Houston, and she was walking around with a completely bald head, and I went up to her and asked her her story, and we have been friends ever since. So please help me welcome one of our featured walkers. We wanted to just kind of give you some stories of people that are out there walking, and this is Christy Scott. Good morning, Christy.
Good morning, George. Thank you so much for having me.
It is so nice to have you on here. Now, tell us real quick, you started, I think your first year on the Boot Walk was actually on the Bull team, right?
That's correct. It was the year that my brother was diagnosed with prostate cancer that had metastasized. You invited me to be part of your team. It was the first year that I started fundraising for this wonderful event.
Christy, tell people your story, because you have kind of a multi-layered story in that fight against cancer.
I do. I'm actually a breast cancer survivor. Prior to my diagnosis, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. Prior to that, my dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and my brother was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So it's affected my entire family.
You know, I always say to people that I feel like sometimes cancer follows my family around. Do you ever feel like that?
I do. It's always lurking behind the door. My team I put together after my brother passed away, it's called Team Tim's Warriors. It's me, my mom, my sister-in-law, and this year we got my dad to join. I don't know how we managed to do that, but we did. And it's a celebration of my brother's life. And he lived life to the fullest.
Talk about your fundraising. You've been one of the big success stories for Boot Walk this year.
I appreciate that. It's something that's very, very near and dear to my heart. And I fundraise because of what my family's been through. I fundraise for those who we've lost. I fundraise for those who will get that diagnosis tomorrow. And if I can raise money to help just one person, then I've done my job.
You're very similar. I think I've told you this. My sister Sylvia, we lost to melanoma, and that was her motto too, is if I can do something to help someone down the road who's going to get that diagnosis, every time she signed up for a trial or an experimental drug, that was her mantra, was that I'm doing this to help those who come after me. And I know that's very similar to your mantra and your story too. And I just want to acknowledge you on that, and the great attitude that you have, and the great success and impact that you're making on Boot Walk. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Before we wrap up, talk to me real quick about walking virtually. I know was different last year, and it made for kind of an interesting walk for you. So tell people about that, because we're going to have people out walking in parks and neighborhoods and stuff like that. So tell us about your walk last year.
Last year, my family and I decided to do this at the cemetery where my brother is buried, and that is in College Station at the Aggie Field of Honor. And we went to Chick-fil-A, and we had a picnic lunch. We sat and told stories about Tim, and then we walked our 1.2 miles there in the cemetery.
I love it. Christy, thank you so much for sharing that. That's what Boot Walk is all about. No matter where you're walking today, no matter how much money you've raised today, you are having an impact, just like Christy and her family. Christy Scott, thank you so much, and have a great Boot Walk day, okay?
Thank you. You too, George.
You know, for so many, the Boot Walk to End Cancer is personal. It directly affects their lives and their loved ones at home and at work. And we thought it might be nice to give you a chance to hear about how the funds we raise directly impact their lives, all right? So give a listen and give a watch to this.
My name is Neil Toweno. I am a breast medical oncologist at MD Anderson Cancer Center. I myself has experienced aggressive cancer, and I have learned that research makes a difference.
I'm Michael Dale, and I give cancer the boot as a male breast cancer survivor, and as the grandson of two grandmothers who both had breast cancer.
I'm Alessandra Land, and I give cancer the boot because I want to be here for my son. I want to see him grow up, and I want him to reach his milestones with me right beside him.
What we do in our program is to make sure that we identify the best idea so that we could make a difference for our patients.
Everyone knows the story of MD Anderson, but few people know about male breast cancer. So to be able to reach out with the Boot Walk, which supports all cancers, but to, lead a team that is specific for male breast cancer research has really been great.
Thank you to all the walkers from Texas, United States, and from all the international participants. I think you're making a big difference for MD Anderson Cancer Center. Thank you again.
thank you for all those who are walking across the states and around the world. Boot Walk is going international.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone around the world and around the country who has helped me and MD Anderson give cancer the boot.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get right into our workout, some of our movements. Our first one is gonna be an overhead stretch here, interlocking those fingers, stretching as high as you can. We're gonna hold that for about 15 seconds. Nice deep breaths in, and then exhale out. Just like that, feel that stretch in your back and in your arms in 3, 2, 1. Let's bring it down. We're gonna stretch that shoulder out. Again, keeping that posture nice and tall. You wanna take that right arm, push back with that left until you feel that nice stretch going through the shoulder. And again, hold it for about 15 seconds. And again, take some deep breaths in and exhale out. And again, let's keep that posture nice and tall. Perfect in 3, 2, 1. Let's do the same thing, opposite side. Gonna take that left arm across the body, push back with that right. And again, keep that posture nice and tall for 15 seconds. And again, you're gonna feel that nice stretch in the back of that shoulder. Keep holding that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna reach it up and over. Just reach it up and over as far as you can. You're gonna feel that stretch going all the way down the lats and in your obliques. And again, take those deep breaths in and exhale out. 2 to 3 seconds, breathe it in, and 2 to 3 seconds, exhale. In 3, 2, 1. Perfect. We're gonna do the same thing, opposite side, reach it up and over. Again, feeling that nice stretch going all the way down the side. And again, hold that for 15 seconds. Again, really focus on that breathing, taking those deep breaths in and exhale out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Bring it right back to the middle. All right, y'all, we're done stretching. Now we're gonna get into some dynamic movements. Our first exercise we're gonna do here is called raising the roof. So you're gonna get those palms up and you're gonna just pump those arms up to the ceiling. And again, I want y'all to do that for about 15 seconds. Feel those arms getting warmed up, feel that body getting warmed up with this movement. You're gonna feel those shoulders work. And again, just keep that posture nice and tall throughout this entire movement for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Our next move is gonna be marching in place, right in your chair. All you're gonna do here is start pumping those arms and getting those feet off the ground. Again, 15 seconds. Pump it, get them up, get them up. Boom, come on y'all, get those feet off the ground. Again, keep that posture nice and tall and pump those arms. Let's keep it up for 5 more seconds. Boom, come on, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. For our last move, we're doing jumping jacks in the chair. So you don't have to actually jump. All you're doing here is kicking those legs out, tapping those heels to the ground and getting those hands right overhead. Again, 15 seconds total. Again, focus on that breathing. Exhale at the top. Inhale as you drop. Keep it up. Posture nice and tall. We're almost there. Come on, y'all. Keep moving. 3, 2, 1. Let's get started with our boot walk.
You know, a lot of people ask us about our boot awards, those unique awards that go to top fundraisers. Each one is created by an artist and has a unique story behind it. Today, we get the chance to meet Arav. He is a pediatric patient at MD Anderson's Children's Cancer Hospital. Arav not only loves art, he loves music, he loves sports, and I think he may have a future in comedy.
What do racers eat before they race? Nothing, they fast. My name's Arav and I live in Sugar Land, Texas. When I was in 3rd grade, I got sick, and a couple weeks later, I found out I was diagnosed with leukemia. The treatment was hard, it was tough, but I got through it. If you take your mind off the pain won't get to you. When I was painting the boot, I felt very relaxed. I felt very calm. I created 2 boots for the boot walk. I like the boot because it shows that you don't have to just paint on a canvas. Miss Casey, I really want to shout out to her because I did so many lessons with her and she taught me so much throughout the years.
Bless you, Arav, and thank you so much for sharing your talents with us. Hopefully, I'll be getting one of those boot awards this year. Speaking of that, why don't we take a look at who's at the top of the leaderboard? Here are your top 10 individual and team fundraisers so far. You know, I wonder who's going to wind up being number 1. It's going to be fun to find out. These teams have come so far, especially since the Team Week kickoff. Remember that? It was something, right? We have had such a good time of getting all the teams together and getting them motivated. And I have to say, we had a big surprise during Team Week. We are so grateful to Cavenders. They came on board this year as a sponsor of our Team Week. And it was an incredible week for the Boot Walk. We had 290 new participants join in, and we raised $86,000, including an amazing $25,000 donation from Cavenders. So thank you so much to Cavenders for being part of this. Also, Angela Robinson, got to get a shout out for Angela because she had the greatest number of donations for Wednesday of Team Week when she challenged all of you all to reach out to your friends and family and said, come on, you can do this. We were looking for who could raise the most, and Angela was on top. Her hard work truly made a difference with every donation that came in, and what a difference she made in our Team Week. And the Stomp Out Stage 4 breast cancer team, they raised the most money, totaling just over $22,000 in just 5 days during Team Week. So incredible work and congratulations. Remember, fundraising isn't over yet. As a matter of fact, you can continue fundraising and get your donations in by the end of the month. Just remember, they have to be in by November 30th, all right? So keep fundraising, keep that money coming in. We have a lot of companies represented among our teams. Lyondell Basell, Odyssey, our parent company at 100.3 The Bull, Houston Dynamo Football Club, and so many more. Thank you all for your support. You know, when you engage your employees to learn about MD Anderson's mission, that is key to raising that awareness and giving cancer the boot. And you can do that. There's still time to become a mission champion. And you're saying, well, okay, George, how do I do that? First, you got to have the app. Download the app. If you already have that, you know what I'm about to say. You get in the app, you do all the different pillars, and you become a mission champion. And if you do that, you should see your name listed on the event page today.
I'm walking today because I want to stomp out stage 4 breast cancer. Today, my family and friends are walking here in the Woodlands, Texas, because we want to give cancer the boot.
I give cancer the boot through Boot Walk because it has provided me the vehicle to reach out to friends and family to raise money for the Boot Walk campaign. With Team Male Breast Cancer, we've raised funds specifically for research, and that effort is to support all types of cancers.
I will be doing the Boot Walk this year. It's on my 40th birthday, and I have a small group of friends who will be out with me on my husband's family ranch in Crockett, Texas. And we'll be doing a loop around the ranch, which is about 1.2 miles. And we're very, very excited to have our shirts, our cowbells, our pom-poms.
This year I'm walking the boot walk with my family in Sugarland, Texas. I think the boot walk is awesome. Let's give cancer the boot.
Thank you so much for sharing your stories, and we'd like to know your why. Personally, I am walking for my sisters and my mom, and I'd like to know why you are walking. Deanna's here. Deanna, come in. Share your why, because this is so easy to do.
I'm walking for my mom and my mom-in-law.
All right, you can print this right off of the website, and then you can fill it out, take a picture of it, and post it on social media, and make sure that you use the hashtag #EndCancer, all right? Now, this is one of my most favorite times. This is where we get to really kick things off. We get the Champion Sisters on with us, and they're gonna do the National Anthem for us. Ladies,
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Champion Sisters, thank you so much. It is always an honor to have you all do the anthem as we kick off Boot Walk. And I don't know about you all, but I am ready to do this. Are you ready? Don't forget today between 10 and 10:30 on 100.3 The Bull, we're going to be doing our all Boot Walk playlist, all boot songs. So make sure you tune in for that. But if you're ready, if you have your boots on, let's count it down together. Are you ready? 10,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
Let's
We have to